Broadcasting live from Plains. This is Tap Tap Concede. Welcome, everybody, to Tap Tap Concede. My name is Graham, and joining me is Nelson.
Hi, I'm here.
And Cameron. And today, we are going to be looking at part one, because we're choosing in advance to separate this into two parts, of the 2021 Year in Review, such as it is. It's relating to Magic specifically, by the way. We're not going to cover anything outside of that realm. Before we start, though, a reminder, of course, that the show is brought to you by Card Kingdom. Do check out cardkingdom.com/LRR for all of your card needs. They're great. They have very fast shipping, excellent customer service. And if you tell them Loading Ready Run sent me and put a little note there, ask for, say, button, please, they'll give you a 1-inch button, which right now says, I foretold you so. Also, this show and everything we do is brought to you directly by you and your kind support of our Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. Thank you, everybody. Before we get into the year in review, have you had opportunity to check out any alchemy?
I have not.
So
I also have not.
All right. So pro tip, you boot up Arena. It's going to give you, I don't think this was an only yesterday thing. I don't know if this was only on launch day, but you boot up Arena, you get 3 packs of it. Mm-hmm. Then there's a free event. If you join the event, which is free to join, it's going to give you another 3 packs immediately before you choose your deck. So you have time to open those packs and see what you get out of them as well, before you start spending your very hard to find wild cards. And then the event is one of those like play as long as you want. And if you get all, I think it's 5 wins, they alternate wins between a pack of alchemy and 1,000 XP. So there's a big chunk of XP in the in that free event because they want you to play alchemy. So I was watching Kenji stream, and he was doing, he was, the first thing he did, he's like, well, let's just throw together a mono red deck. And so I just used the list that he threw together and got those wins in a real hurry.
Nice. I always enjoy the adage of, like, if you don't know the meta, sleeve up mono red.
Yeah, I had 4 of the Toralf's, is it Disciple?
That sounds right.
It's the 3/3 for 3 with haste that whenever it attacks, you put 4 lightning bolts into your deck.
Yeah.
So that was fun. And then there's, I don't remember the name of it, Geist something. He's actually the key art of alchemy. He's a 2/2 for 1 and a red with prowess. Mm-hmm. And
like Geist Catcher? No.
Yeah, something like
that.
Blaster. Frenzied Geist Blaster.
Blaster.
There we go. Mm-hmm. When Frenzied Geist Blaster enters the battlefield, if there are 20 or more instant and or sorcery cards among cards in your graveyard, hand, and library, which there always were, then you can rummage. Or no, you can discard a card and then you seek an instant or sorcery. So you just get one of those. Okay. And then the spiciest one was Electrostatic Charge.
Right.
So it's 1 and a red for an instant. Instant deals 2 damage, and I and Kenji misread this card initially.
There's a bunch of tricky, like, understanding Magic cards for this set is like the bar has been raised.
Well, because there's stuff that you expect based on paper Magic that don't happen in alchemy.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And this one is when you cast your next instant or sorcery spell, exile the top 3 cards of your library. You may play one of those until end of turn. So the phrase "until end of turn" is it the last sentence, but not in the when you cast your next instant or sorcery spell.
Right.
So you, at the end of their turn, you electrostatic blast. It was blast, not charge. Pardon me. You electrostatic blast them or one of their creatures or something. Untap, cast an instant or sorcery, and then that happens.
Right.
So then you can.
So the delayed trigger doesn't expire at end of turn.
It never expires until you use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. It just remembers, after you've cast your Electrostatic Blast, right, the game is going to remember, okay, whenever you cast your next instant or sorcery, I've got a trigger.
Yep.
Whenever it is.
It's
could be next week.
It's a heck of a thing.
Yeah.
And it's fun also when your deck is, 50% lightning bolts by volume.
Right.
Yeah.
So...
Man, we're playing like
cool.
it's kitchen table in 1994 over here.
Yeah. Pretty soon they're gonna print a 1 green mana 1/1 Llanowar Elves that just says tap, find a forest, and put it into play. Right?
Yeah.
Like straight out of concrete in 1994.
Right.
Yep. This is what this does, right?
Oh man, that would be a good joke.
Yeah,
so
Yeah. Add green.
Add green.
Yeah. How do I do that? I guess you get a forest. I don't know, dude.
Yeah. So that event was fun enough. If you care about getting experience and stuff on Magic Arena, you should just try that event because it's free, and so it's it's like experience for your mastery track or whatever on the table. Still, we or at least I maintain in not loving how it's not loving, I don't think is strong enough. I dislike how this has affected Arena or Historic on Arena, and also it's, as people are being like, okay, well, what about Pioneer? Like, if you want to mess up Historic like this, then give us Pioneer on Arena like you said you were going to. So
That would be nice.
That would be nice. And and as ever, the economy needs a real hard look at. I will say,
How many cards are in this? And you can't draft it, right?
there's 63, and you can't draft it.
Okay.
And the way that duplicate protection works is so you only get it from boosters or by crafting wild cards. If you get a pack of Alchemy, a lot of the commons will be from Crimson Vow because it's like connected to Crimson Vow.
Okay.
If you open a 5th copy of a rare or mythic that you already have 4 of, then you will get a rare or mythic from Crimson Vow. And so only once you have both sets will alchemy packs get, but you shouldn't, if you're full of both sets, you probably just don't need to be buying alchemy packs. So.
Yeah.
Well, if you... Sorry, go ahead. Yep.
No, I was just going to... That was basically the entire comment, was like, what?
Yeah.
So
Why?
if you these alchemy packs are part Crimson Vow, part new cards from Alchemy, and then if you open a rare mythic that you already have 4 of, you get an extra Crimson Vow. But if you have a full set of Crimson Vow, will it always give
Then you
you
get gems.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So it won't
If you open
the
a
full set of Alchemy.
if you open a pack of Crimson Vow,
Yeah.
you're only going to get Crimson Vow cards, and if the duplicate protection kicks in when you have everything from Crimson Vow.
Okay.
With Alchemy, it's everything in Alchemy, and then everything in Crimson Vow.
Oh, I see.
And that, which is like that's
fine.
That's not even the worst part of the whole thing. It's just that the Arena economy in general is not great.
We just need to have a better deal on wild cards.
Yeah.
We need to have a better deal for crafting cards.
For those of you who are into Gladiator and somehow aren't on the Gladiator Discord, I've been monitoring it for an update, and it looks like what they've determined is that you currently cannot add the rebalanced cards in a deck built for direct game.
Oh.
So currently, Gladiator is digital cards, yes, rebalanced cards, no, because you just can't. They were hoping that you could use either.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You could be like, I'm going to use this normal Goldspan Dragon, but this buffed Cosmos Elixir. I don't know, just making things up.
Sure.
But no, it's currently you can't use the rebalanced ones because they just don't let you. So.
And that's obviously not the case in Historic. You just have to use the rebalanced ones.
Correct.
Right?
You don't have a choice.
Whatever your deck was, now it's this new version, right?
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, now into the bulk of the show. We're going to take you all the way back to January, where actually on my list nothing actually happened in January except that they had a early access version of Arena on mobile. But the point is, we're looking at 2021 in Magic. So the first major sort of release of anything on Arena or paper or whatever in Magic was in February 5th, the release of Kaldheim.
Yeah. January for us was the call time PPR, right? Like we did get to start
That's
playing
true.
in January.
That's true. We did do that
Probably
at the end
everyone
of
got played on Arena like shortly after too.
Days later, probably.
Yeah. So I mean, we did play plenty of call time in January, and this was one of my favorite times of the year. Actually, I really liked the Call Time Fam Jam, and I really liked Call Time the set. Like I loved getting to draft it. I really appreciate any set where you can go 5-color greed, play all the bombs, and that's a legit plan, as opposed to plenty of limited set where it's like, the support for the mana is not there, or it might happen once in a blue moon, but you can't sit down thinking, well, hopefully I play like 5 colors, right? And I really like it when the format allows that. So I was a big fan of doing that in Call Time a lot.
Yeah, also, Call Time just had the great feeling of being past to Zenith Flare and knowing how you're going to spend the next 45 minutes of your life, right? With kind of clarity.
That's a Korea. Zenith Flare, the cycling one? Is that what you mean? The Boros cycling deck? Although the Boros deck in Call Time was also good. I know, we're that old, right? There's kids now that think getting to watch an episode of a show, a new one every week, is new. It's the new weekly drop model, as opposed to just binge watching everything in a row. I'm sorry, Cameron. It's like that. Korea was last year, buddy. You want a hug?
If I can throw in a card from Kaldheim that I did similar things with and very much enjoyed, it was Path to the World Tree.
Yeah.
First picking Path to the World Tree. It was the uncommon. It was 1 and a green, and you get to go looking for a basic lance. You could get some snow, and then you could pay 2 white, blue, black, red, and sacrifice it. Then you gain 2 life and draw 2 cards, and target opponent loses 2 life, and then it deals 2 damage to a creature, and you make a bear. So going into like 5-color snow greed was a fun deck.
I've decided that I'm the one who made the mistake here, and I'd like to just, if we could cut that last 2 minutes out, and I'll instead say, yeah, Zenith Flare, absolutely. The Boros deck was really good in this format too, and I was crushed by it regularly.
The set also had sort of like surprise cameo appearance from Vorinclex,
Right.
which was like, what's Vorinclex doing in the impact zone? And the first card ever with the Phyrexian creature type. This was when they introduced that.
Right.
So that was weird.
Did we ever figure out from the lore why that happened?
I think
I didn't.
I don't think we have yet, but I feel like we're going to.
Okay. That would be nice, because
Yeah.
I was just like, I would encounter Vorinclex in Sealed in much the same way that I feel many people on Kaldheim encountered Vorinclex, which was just like,
Briefly.
what?
Yeah. What is that? And then someone, I think we found out who. I'm not up on the lore. I'm sorry. I think we found out who it was, but somebody hired Kaya to come to Kaldheim and kill Vorinclex. So, or hired or asked. I don't know. Kaya was there as well. Not this Kaya. Kaya. Well, yeah. Kaya's an Innistrad now.
Five mana Kaya from Kaldheim.
Kaya's going hunting.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Kaya's a busy lady.
I'm gonna,
Busy lady.
in the interest of having these episodes not take 12 years, I'm gonna generally breeze past secret lairs.
That's fine. We did
Yeah.
that the other day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. That said, at the end of February, this was when they made the Universes Beyond announcement. So this was because they had already done the Walking Dead secret lairs to much what I'm gonna charitably describe as fanfare. And this was them sort of formalizing, like, all right, look, this is a thing that we're doing. We're going to bring outside IP into Magic. It's going to have a triangular holofoil stamp. That's how you know it's different. And did they say that every Universes Beyond card will then see in Magic, like anything that's mechanically different will then see an in Magic thing?
I don't know if they promised that. Like, I don't know if they said for the full, like, Lord of the Rings
I think that
draftable
they-
set coming up, they promised that it's also going to have another name.
No, the Lord of the Rings set, that's different. That just is that. It's like the
Okay.
that's going to be like the D&D set.
Right, okay.
But like they have, I don't know where it falls in the timeline, but they have much more recently said that the Walking Dead secret lair that they're rolling it back to that, so that those cards will receive in Magic printed versions.
Right.
That I think they even said what product those were going to be a part of, and it's coming up like sooner than later. It's like early 2022, I think, and that's not really relevant to here. But yeah, the Universes Beyond thing, I don't know. I mean, I thought they're on the shelf over here somewhere. I thought it was cute when they had like the Transformers and D&D
Yeah.
and My Little Pony and stuff. And granted, those are all under the Hasbro umbrella, but like that was fun. I mean, okay. I honestly don't love it, but I also don't really mind.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think you said this on Twitter, Cam. I can't be bothered to generate like anger about cards. I really love this game. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be doing this podcast if I didn't, but I also am like, this doesn't actually this is not what is killing Magic today.
Yeah, it's the year when we found out, hey, there's too many releases and you're
Yeah.
going to get tired, and that's fine and normal. And like, you know, once you push through the fatigue and realize that you don't have to be totally caught up on everything all the time, you realize like, yeah, not all these products are for me, even though I'm like a diehard Magic grinder, or even though I'm like a every night of the week Commander player, or I'm a like draft every set player, like till my eyes bleed, you know, whatever like staunch invested veteran of the game you are, there's still just plenty of these things that like just aren't for you, and that's fine.
And I also don't like this is going to be probably the hottest take I've ever given on this podcast. I don't love that this product isn't for you has been co-opted as a snarky retort at Wizards releasing stuff. That like when they people who get upset about Wizards releasing X, Y, or Z thing, they do with like the mocking SpongeBob camel caps of like, this product isn't for you, and it's like, no, but hold on, it cannot be for you.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, you can just not buy it.
Whatever kind of Magic player you are, you're still getting at least as many releases per year as you got back in 2010, right? Probably double.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't like that the refrain of this product isn't for you has been like adopted as a slam at Wizards, when it's like, I don't know, it seems healthy to not want to buy literally everything with the word Magic on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. But if you do, then cool, I guess, as long as you're happy.
We here at Tap Tap Concede just want you to be happy.
It's true.
Honestly.
I truly just want people to be happy,
All right.
which is a real challenge on this internet.
On this
Tap
internet.
Tap Concede for the happiness of all mankind.
That's right. We're just clawing our way upstream through the like torrent of how to get engagement, right? Like we're like trying to paddle this ship of just like, everyone thinks it'll be fine. Let's just cozy up and talk Magic cards.
We'll host one of these podcasts.
Enragement is engagement waves. Yeah.
We'll be hosting one of these podcasts. We'll all sit outside at a picnic table outside an abandoned building with a Russian banner in the background. Just says for the happiness of all mankind, and not talk about. Yeah.
I'm there. I'm gonna get dressed up for it.
All right.
Yeah.
In early March, we saw the release of Historic Anthology 4 on Arena, which is kind of funny that, they did all this work to like bolster up the historic format with some really like honestly, I didn't even love these. Like I don't play historic, so it ultimately doesn't matter what I think about it. But I kind of liked the idea of historic as like, look, it's just that you can play everything that's on Arena, and then they were like, but what if we also screw that up with really powerful stuff?
Right.
Was my initial take on it. For the benefit of stuff like Brawl and Gladiator, I was like, all right, I'm cool with these cards. But it is sort of like, oh, I kind of liked that there was a theoretical power ceiling on Arena that the Historic Anthologies kind of blew out of the water. What was in Historic Anthology 4? Let me remind myself.
Was 4 the one with Death Shadow and Stoneforge Mystic? Were they in the same
Declaration in Stone.
Okay.
Iceberg Cancrix, Merit Lage's Slumber, Think Twice, Death Shadow, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Torment of Scarabs.
My problem with the anthologies is like, I don't mind that
Spider Spawning.
I don't mind that I'm giving Wizards my money. Like I play Arena, I do play Historic sometimes. I figured out over this course of this year, actually, it's like each season, like between one main set and the next, I'm probably either playing Draft or Constructed. And it's not usually Standard I turn to first if I'm like not into the Draft format. I usually play Historic. So I don't mind that they're taking my money. I just wish it was easier to parse how I'm supposed to give it to them. Because the problem with the Historic Anthologies is you look at it, it's like, okay, that's a pretty hefty pile of gems. And yeah, you get more than you're worth back in wild cards, like assuming you would craft all those cards. But then each of the anthologies is like pieces from 5 to 10 different decks. So you're like not sure if you're going to need to spend all those wild cards, and you can't tell whether you're getting a deal or not. And you'll only know like when you die or Arena closes for the last time or whatever it is. Like you'll only know at the end whether you saved money, and it's like, can't you just? I wish it was just like, hey, we notice you just crafted like 10 rare wild cards into a deck. We notice you're building a deck. Would you like to pay half price on your next 20 wild cards we sell you or something like that? I'd be way happier with that. It was just like,
if you could buy wild cards directly.
Yeah, well, or whatever they want to make the deal, just so that it's kind of like, hey, person who's giving us your money, let's give you this following deal, which is like, we're BOGOing you into more dollars, but you know what you're getting. It's like I can either do it and I don't get that, or I do it and I get that.
It's probably best to do it as the professor says, just to buy singles. It's probably
right.
It's probably better to just use the wild cards on the deck that you want.
Right.
But who knows what the case is now. At the time anyway, it was probably better.
Yeah.
So March 19th, Time Spiral Remastered.
Oh, yeah.
This set was sweet.
Yeah.
I want to actually, at some point, now that we're doing Friday Night Paper Fights again, because this one only existed in paper. Well, I guess it was on Magic Online, but I haven't opened that app in a long time. Anyway, I'd like to do a draft of this.
Yeah,
we
great.
didn't actually get to. Did we do that? Did we do? No, we did a sealed.
Did we get a PPR?
We did a Friday Night Paper Fight.
Okay.
See, did we do a PPR? No, I didn't think so. No, we did a bunch of shorts though. Those were fun. Go watch those short. They're on the Wizards channel. The ones with Beej as a butler.
Nice.
Those are funny, I think. But then I'm extremely biased. Anyway, yeah, I like this idea. I think they should do more of these. Of like take an old block, actually curate it. Unlike double feature.
I'm looking for exactly. I'm looking forward to Invasion Remastered.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Dude, original Ravnica block.
Sure.
Ooh, yeah. That would what? Oh, that's a heck of a draft environment. Mixing those up when they were so clearly delineated as 5 guilds and 5 guilds. Or no, original
It was 4,
Ravnica
then
block
3,
was
then 3.
4, 3, 3.
Yeah.
And putting them all into one environment would lead to some wild stuff. I would assume.
Yeah, just some havoc.
Yeah, I'm gonna dig it. End of March 23rd. Actually, there's a couple more things happening at the end of March, but March 23rd was the launch of the open beta for Magic Legends.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Spoilers, it'll be 4 months until it's announced that it's being completely shuttered. I played it. We played
Watched
it.
that stream.
We played it
I
on.
tuned in a bit, yeah.
We did like a special launch day stream.
Yeah.
And it was. I mean, the thing is, I kind of liked it. Like I like sort of I like action RPGs like Diablo and Torchlight and stuff like that. Like I enjoy that kind of game, and I was like, yeah, all right, this is rough around the edges, and the frame rate is not great, but it's like, yeah, sure, all right, I can see this sort of being okay, and it seems like they were not interested in making it okay. Like, judging by, I didn't play much of it after that, but judging by the sort of chats from the community and stuff, it was like, the impression I get is that there was a whole bunch of feedback sent their way during the alpha, and that was not incorporated, or not even sort of like considered, is the impression that I get. And
it's a little sad.
When the beta came out, people who'd been in the alpha were like, "Oh, so you didn't listen to anything that anybody said."
So not making improvements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So well. On the 25th though of March, a couple days later, Magic Arena for iOS.
Finally,
That was very exciting.
I don't think they should have pets on the phone version.
I'd be okay with not being able to have a pet on the phone.
It's just so much screen real estate. I know that there are things that people paid for with their gems or whatever, but they take up so much screen real estate. That said, it runs really nicely. I have it. If I'm playing it on iOS, I tend to play it on my iPad Pro, which granted is a beast. It's not one of the M1s, but it's a previous gen iPad Pro, which is a very powerful machine and has nice big screen, and it runs. That's great. Actually, playing it on that is awesome. But I have also played it on my phone, and you know what? It's not bad. It's literal Magic the Gathering on a thing in my pocket, and is not bad.
I played it on my phone a bunch this year.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to live the dream of, like you draft on the bus and then you get home.
Yeah.
And then you play. And I was just like, no, but I need to pick this one. No, this one. Right. And it was.
Yeah.
I also have a tiny phone.
I was going to say you prefer.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention it in a totally not aggressive way.
Yes.
Because you prefer to have a smaller phone.
Yes, exactly.
And
so I'm not the.
Has to be difficult.
Yeah. You make your choices and then you live with them.
Yeah.
In the end, you are those choices. And, I've made a decision to have a smaller phone. And this is just one of the consequences of that.
You could quick draft. Oh, yes.
Yet, I choose to blame somebody else.
Fair.
Another
That's fair.
choice.
Yeah. Good call. Whoever's to your left or right in draft.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The deck builder is not amazing, but I found the draft comfortable enough. I'm on a iPad or iPhone 11, so regular, kind of big.
I
screen.
use an SE.
Yeah, I'm on the normal one, I guess. So it's not so bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
The list I'm working from, courtesy the MTG fandom wiki, is very exhaustive, and also mentions that March 28th was the Kaldheim Championship, which is essentially the sort of the Pro Tour level event, right? The championships, which was won by Arne Huchenbach.
Nice.
So, congrats. I remember that. People were making a lot of sort of, because it was Kaldheim, right? And his name is
Arnie.
Arne, not spelled the same as the character in Kaldheim, but there was a lot of jokes around that, I recall. I love that this got noted down. Nick Kellman, controversial director of entertainment development, leaves Wizards of the Coast.
Oh, yeah. People were asking that for a long time.
Yeah, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out.
Right?
Yeah.
April 2nd, 2021's Challenger decks. I forgot that those got released. These were the Azorius Control, Dimir Rogues, Mono Red Aggro, and Mono Green Stompy.
Is that paper only, or was that on Magic Online or something? Okay.
No, these were standard. Yeah, these were 75 cards, so 60 card deck and a sideboard, standard play, released in paper, and with new nearly plastic-free deck boxes.
Ooh.
So, what was in the Dimir Rogues deck? I wonder, because that was a heck of a.
I seem to recall these ones being like a pretty good deal.
Yeah, 2 Black Bloom Robes, a Rankle, 4 Thieves Guild Enforcers, Vantress Gargoyle, Nighthawk Scavenger, Zareth Sands, Merfolk Wind Robber, Soaring Thought Thieves, Bloodchief's Thirst. Right, Drown in the Lock. Ugh, I don't miss that card.
Yeah, I definitely played this deck a bit on ladder. Like
Yeah.
on standard ladder.
The
for
Rogues
Quest or
deck.
whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't miss it either. When it's winning, it feels like, why are you doing this? Why are you killing me with damage and mill at the same time? Like, yeah, very inexorable.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, and I think that did they then stop making those? Later in the year, they would say that they were stopping. No, maybe they were stopping the starter decks. That's what they stopped. We'll get to that. We'll come back to that. April 23rd, Strixhaven,
Hey.
School of Mages, accompanied by the Mystical Archive. Yeah, and I enjoyed that a lot. What I really liked the Mystical Archive. Like, I don't know, I kind of liked it sometimes, and I would win or lose because I was on both sides of this. But I kind of liked it sometimes. A game of draft would be like going along normally, and then someone would just be like, also time warp, and you're like, holy crap, okay,
Yeah.
Or Mind's Desire.
yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of
Chaos
dug
Warp.
that.
Yeah.
DT for a draft uncommon.
Yeah.
You know, it was weird and swingy, but I kind of felt it more than just getting windmilled by a mythic.
Yeah.
It was Magecraft and Learn were like the big mechanics, and I thought both of those were super fun and limited.
It was a great set. I can remember learning that we were going to get a Mystical Archive card in every pack.
That is great.
And I can remember being so excited earlier. I was like, is this real? Is there like a Dark Ritual or like a Swords to Plowshares or a Time Warp in every single pack? That's insane. And,
I was shocked to learn that they were going to be one in every pack.
and sure enough, in a booster box, you got 35 Divine Gambits, and one Dark Ritual or whatever.
Yeah,
but
Village
still,
Rites or
yeah, exactly. There's a bunch of commons in there at the common level of printing, but it's still rad. I really liked that it was like the flavor of it is like, okay, in the Biblioplex, there's like a spell from another plane. Can we keep them their own section? But we've got them. We've got them all. You can come check them out.
Especially late in the format, I really enjoyed, and I will do this every time it comes back to Arena Quick Draft. I really enjoyed just doing the Teamer Big Spells deck.
Okay.
Which was just like, because you don't draft it normally either, because you just pick up cards that people don't necessarily take, but like the explosive welcome? It's like
The
8
two
mana.
mana wrap? Or no, okay.
It's an 8 mana instant that deals.
Yeah,
It's like 5 damage to
and
one
3
thing and
and
3
get
to
3 red.
another.
Yeah.
and
Right.
Explosive welcome.
Yeah.
So that one, then the there's like a 7 mana one that makes 2 elementals in red blue.
Yeah. And there's an
And-
uncommon 5 damage and draw a card, kind of like dig for a card.
Yeah. The
Right.
the inspiration
Outburst,
one.
yeah.
Oh, Creative Outburst. Yeah.
At
that one as
Mythic,
well.
you've got Magma Opus, but you don't
Yeah.
see that one as often as just 7 mana for 2 4/4s, right?
And so it's like that and the Quandrix Pledge Mage that Magecraft you drill down for a land right?
Yep.
So like every spell that you cast, you also get to tutor up a land if it's in your top 3. Oh no, sorry, Quandrix Pledge Mage gets
it's
bigger, so
Yeah,
that
the
one's
apprentice,
good.
Yeah.
Quandrix Apprentice.
And then
I think,
Quandrix
too.
Apprentice, also you get a land with Magecraft every time, and you get like you field trip to get a forest, and then also the experimental study or environmental sciences, environmental studies, the 2 mana colorless, get a land and gain 2 life, and just like you just spend the first couple turns sort of like taking some hits, generally from Silverquill, and like subtly getting way more land on the board than either player is expecting, and then eventually you're like, cool, now I just get to do a bunch of ridiculous stuff and return things from my graveyard and cast massive spells, and you can't possibly compete with magic of this magnitude.
Yeah, it's a fun deck.
Yeah. Also, the Commander 2021 was like tied in with Strixhaven. We did a
Right.
game of it. So it was the Silverquill deck with Brina the Demagogue, reading that card and rereading that card. Very confusing card.
Yeah, we had to back up a couple combat steps, right?
Yep.
Yep.
The Prismari Performance with Zaphi Thunder Conductor.
Oh yeah.
What a great name.
It's
right?
very
Like
good.
very good pun. It's
Yeah.
a pun I really appreciate.
And this, if you're watching the video version, you can see on screen, this is the version before that was printed with the typo.
Right. This card has
Yeah.
a misprint on it, right?
Yeah, it says the name is Thunder Conductor, and in the rules box it says Thunder Collector.
Right.
yeah, which
Yeah.
I think is just that. Yeah, that's just somebody like typoing the name.
Yeah, probably.
Right.
It's
Or-
yeah, it's probably just like
Just one of
from-
those brain things,
or it could have even been
Yeah, Thunder Collector. Yeah,
it could have been
like a test name.
no, sorry, the app on your phone that corrects your spelling.
Oh yeah.
yeah, it could have just been spell check. Spell check just like
Yeah.
changed it to collector, right? Autocorrect. That's what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say.
Yeah.
But
Autocorrect.
I do love that. Somebody a couple of months ago tweeted like, if you want photo references for a wizard, look at conductors, symphony conductors,
yeah.
and just like somebody going hard on Shostakovich.
yeah,
Right.
They've got wands.
Yeah.
Right?
They had the Lorehold Legacies deck with Osgir the Reconstructor.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. And Quantum Quandrix with Adrix and Nev Twin Casters. And then, of course, Witherbloom Witchcraft with Willow Dusk, Essence Seer, and all the irritation for us personally that surrounded that deck. The deck is sweet, by the way. It's just that and
It was a tough pre-release to get through.
It was.
Yeah.
People
It was
still
more work than every other pre-release we've had.
I've still seen
PPR,
people comment on the Magic subreddit about like, oh, Loading Ready Run does the, like they, it was some criticism of like, using the preview cards for views, which is, by the way, the explicit reason that they give us preview
yeah.
cards, but also, like they did this and then like bait and switch or whatever, and I just respond. I was like, that is not what happened.
Yeah.
You are misunderstanding the situation. Oh well. There was, a bunch more secret layers. Right. In May, this is where Magic Esports made that announcement that after the 2021-22 Players Tour season, that the MPL and Rivals League will be retired, and that at the time, anyway, pro players basically being told that they should not consider professional Magic as a career path.
Right. The lifestyle is supposed to be over, and the option to be a paid pro that plays exclusively is gone.
Yeah.
Right.
But we don't know what, if any,
Yeah.
replacement that will be.
Yeah, we're waiting to hear if there's going to be some sweet OP in the new year. And we're also just waiting to see how it shakes out in terms of like, your favorite Magic personalities who are pro players or the best, the top players in the ladder or whatever, people who have won big tournaments, and what their careers are going to look like. We kind of don't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When does this season actually, because it's the 2021-22 season, so when does it actually...
It's probably coming up again this
the
spring or summer, right? Like around the same time of year?
It'll be the World Championship. Oh, no. It's the Neon Dynasty Championship and the New Capenna Championship, and then Worlds.
Okay, so late summer, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so then that'll be...
So hopefully by then we'll know what's coming next.
Yeah. So I guess that's plenty of warning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they wanted to make sure everybody who's They wanted to make sure everybody knows before they get into any season where they're competing for anything,
Right.
or for anything in the future,
Yeah.
and make sure that it's enough time, I think, for people who are about to receive the benefits and going to be in a certain plan in their life can know to plan something else, right? So they did give us lots of time.
Right. May 14th was the official retirement of the Planeswalker decks, which are being replaced with the Commander decks going forward. I forgot about those. When they would print like a 6-mana Planeswalker that was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. I'm happy with, hey, it was more Commander. Why not? Everybody loves it. May 27th, Historic Anthology 5 on Arena,
Don't remember what was in that
featuring such bangers as the Praetors, all the Phyrexian Praetors, Stifle, Intangible Virtue,
one. We got Thraben Inspector? Is that
Into the
one?
North. I don't see it. Might have already
That's
had
fine.
it.
Yeah, maybe it's not the one.
Dragonstorm. Oh, all the commands.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
So all the cons commands.
Yeah,
Not,
right.
yeah.
So Ojutai, Silmgar, Atarka's command, Dramoka's command. Ooh, Grizzly Salvage. Whirler Rogue. Oh, there are still some Kaldheim cards kicking around. Kaladesh, pardon me, cards kicking around in the back end of Arena somewhere. Next. Oop, I've scrolled past it. There we are. The Strixhaven Championship. Sam Pardee won the Strixhaven Championship on June 6th.
Right.
That was my birthday. June 18th, Modern Horizons 2.
Yeah, we had a PPR for this one.
Yes. Yeah. And this was the first supplemental set to feature set boosters and collector boosters. I did not know that.
Oh.
Interesting.
Collector Booster's still relatively new.
Yeah. Modern Horizons 2 had some just some bangers.
Absolute bangers.
I'm trying to remember some specifically.
Fantastic set. Squirrels. There's a
Right.
bunch of powerful squirrels now.
Right.
Legal and
There
modern.
was- oh,
There's a monkey.
Yeah, there was the aristocrat squirrel. in
Yes.
green black.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's still putting up numbers.
Yeah, it's like a real card. It's like a real
We
constructed
just
card, I think.
recently had the whatever set's out right now, the Innistrad Championship.
Right.
Or the Crimson Vow Championship? Is it different from Midnight Hunt? The most recent championship event, they were playing Historic and Standard, and that squirrel was involved
Doing
in
stuff?
Historic. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it fits into Jund Food or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. They had, new incarnations with Evoke, like Solitude, Subtlety, Grief, Fury, and Endurance.
Right.
There were some new, suspend spells, some new ridiculous suspend spells that would do like there was the Gaia's Will.
Right.
Right, and-
Callbacks to old powerful spells.
Yep.
Urza's Saga.
Oh, right.
The card.
The card,
right.
Urza's Saga.
Land enchantment makes robots.
Sure, why
Searches
not?
for artifacts. I still haven't had to answer too many. That's not true, actually. I played like one in-person paper Highlander tournament this year because they started coming back at YG, but I'm not working there now, and also my family is busy, so I just didn't have. I didn't fall right back into the groove of playing Highlander every Monday, but I miss it. Anyways, this card was, I think, at the heart of like all 5 judge calls I took within the first hour I was at YJ. So sure enough,
just
it's
Judge?
still confusing. What Judge? What is this card? I got one
Judge,
and
how
I put it in
dare
my
you.
deck. But yeah, exactly. Yeah, still a lot of things going on. Still a lot of confusing order of operations and question marks that abound on this card. So call a judge. You feel like you need to just call a judge.
Also, Time Spiral Remastered, which we already talked about, and Modern Horizons 2 here, both featured showcase. Well, so Modern Horizons featured the showcase treatment of the sketch frames, which were cool. I thought they were neat. I liked that it showed like concept art, and
Yeah, the flavor text.
the flavor text was the art brief.
Yes.
that was
Yeah.
that was cool. But they also, the TSR and this set both featured old Magic card frames,
Right.
like pre-modern Magic card frames, including the fetch lands in the pre-modern card frame, and I really like these.
Me too.
I
Yeah,
really
me too.
like them. I think they look super cool.
It was weird to me that like I was sort of taken aback that Modern Horizons 2 featured these after I was like so excited that Time Spiral was going to feature them, and then they haven't like been putting them in every set since then or whatever. So it felt a little bit weird, and like I didn't love how like Modern Horizons 2 piggybacked on Time Spiral Remastered's coattails or whatever there. Like I kind of wanted them to have their own thing, but they all look great.
Yeah.
Also, I'm sorry, I have to go back just a second here. We were just talking about an Innistrad Championships that featured a squirrel in Historic. that was from Modern Horizons 2, but these cards aren't on Arena. So I'm just trying to remember which card we're talking about, because there are scrolls that sacrifice things that are good. I was thinking of the 1-drop.
Yeah.
Like pay 3 to sacrifice something, but did that end up on Arena?
That one's definitely on Arena somehow.
Okay.
My
bad.
I'm gonna look up. Hang on.
All right.
I'm just gonna look up Squirrel. It's the Ravenous Squirrel.
Right.
It was in Jumpstart Historic Horizons.
Oh, right.
okay.
Sorry, we're not there yet. We're gonna get there.
That's the one. So yeah,
So many
Ravenous
magic
Squirrel.
releases. Yeah.
It's squirreling all over Historic.
Okay.
And we will get there, but we're gonna have to get there next episode because that's all the time that we have for
Okay.
today.
Yeah, it gives us one more week of releases in December to talk about on part
Yeah,
2.
see what other
Maybe we'll have played some Alchemy by then.
Yeah.
see what other
possible.
surprise releases they can send out in the
Interim. I mean, we've got 7 days before we do this next podcast, so
Yeah.
they
Which is
could
right
be
about when they-
announcing one this afternoon, and it could come out on Monday.
That's
right?
true. It's right about when they knock off for Christmas breakdown at WotC. So just kick one more thing out the door before they all turn off the lights and run away.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Maro's just like, oh, and one more thing.
Yeah.
If you want one more thing for your collection, or maybe several more things to
go.
save on shipping, because why split them into different things? Go over to Card Kingdom. Check out cardkingdom.com/LRR. That lets them know we sent you, and we do that because we think they're great. And we also think you're great, and you're kind support of our Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. And we'll be back next week with part 2 of 2021 Year in Review. Until then, I've been Graham with Nelson.
Be good to each other.
And Cameron.
Who said that?
And James has been here. Heather gets these online. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.